Aloha offline sharks. How we doing, everybody? Welcome to the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam session. This week, we're talking about turning tragedy into triumph. Tom Gaddis here. I'm coming to you from Maui, Hawaii, but Nick, he's in sunny, chilly Colorado. So we're excited to be here. We have a great show lined up for you guys. Tons of great info to go over. So grab a drink, get a comfy chair, make sure your audio's turned up, and we're going to start the intro.
Are you ready for the fastest 60 minutes of local marketing strategy, tactics, tips, and fun on planet Earth? It's now time. The moment you've been waiting for. After 167 agonizing hours, they've returned. Broadcasting live from their island retreats, smack dab in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and now back for a brand new Sharks Live show. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
All right, we are live. Oh, thank you. I like the applause. Thank you. Not sure where Nick went into the green room for a few minutes. I think he might be adjusting his audio settings. Welcome, everybody. Aloha. Hey, Paul. Welcome, Don. Excited to see everybody here. I was just here in the island retreats, but Nick isn't in his island retreat. He's in his winter retreat. I think he's working out some technical issues, so we'll get him there. Hey, Cameron. Awesome. I see some Facebook users. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Aloha, Chris. Wayne, welcome. What's up, man? You know, with us, it's same old, busy. We've been working away. Nick flew out last night. So you've been enjoying some snowboarding and stuff, right, Nick?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been really cold. I got some Chick-fil-A on the way over here.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what I had yesterday? The taco place. I almost sent you a picture.
Sad.
I know.
That makes me
almost sent you a picture.
Getting the taco place without
I did. Hey, Paul. Nick is not in New York. He's in Colorado right now. Aloha, James. James is in Montana. He's in snowy Montana. So awesome. Well, welcome, everybody. We're super excited here. We have another awesome live show lined up for you today. Today, we're actually going to be talking about a topic that I think is really good. It's about turning tragedy into triumph. That may sound a little dramatic, but really what we're going to be talking about is, you know, what to do. What do you do if your back's against the wall or you really need to generate some income quickly? You know, what tools do you have in your entrepreneurial toolbox, your tool chest that you could use to get started and get some traction going as quickly as possible? Kind of like, I think a good example of this, Nick, is like the undercover. Remember, they used to have the undercover millionaire. Now they have the undercover billionaire, where they drop them in an area. They've got no connections. Nobody knows who they are. And they have to figure out how to survive and then get a business off the ground, right? And generate a certain amount of income. And it's interesting to watch that show to see the different approaches people use. But we're going to talk about some of those today. So I think that's going to be, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen that show yet, but I've heard a lot about it. You know, I heard that Grant Cardone was it, and a couple of people have told me that it's actually really, really good. I think it's on Discovery though, but I'm just one of those people that doesn't have cable.
Yeah. Maybe you can get on your Apple TV. Another business show that I've been watching this past week on HBO Max. They launched a new show called Wall Street. You know, Mark Wahlberg. So he's got a
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
Mark Wahlberg. Like
Mike Wahlberg. Yeah, they have Wahlburgers is their business, right? Yeah. Mike Wahlberg. Yeah. Anyway,
Mark.
he has a new show. Yeah, Wahlberg. Yeah. He has a new show called Wall Street, and he's like, I didn't know this, but Wahlburgers is just one business that he's like growing. Like he's working at becoming a serious entrepreneur. He actually has he's got Wahlburgers. He's got a clothing brand called Municipal. He's got he has a production television company called is it Unrealistic Ideas, something like that. He's looking at starting a grocery chain. He's got all of this stuff going on. And so it's like a documentary of him dealing with these various businesses while in the process, he's like going out doing his day job, which is making movies. And it's really interesting because they started filming the episodes like a month before lockdown happened and COVID hit. And so like all the episode, like the first episodes are all about all the things he's got going on. And then the rest of the episodes are all about how they're dealing with the pandemic. Oh, F45, that's another business he has. It's like a fitness franchise. So anyway, it's interesting to see them working the deals, talking about the businesses. Some of them are doing well. Some of them are just launching, like the clothing brand. Some are struggling, like F45. They had this big deal that they were working out with the main company so they could launch a bunch of franchises. And then COVID hit. And then with like Municipal, all that happened. And then with like Wahlburgers, that business, they're having issues with that business. So it's interesting to see him dealing with all that stuff and watching somebody do the things that we do. It's really funny. I think you'd really like that show.
I saw an ad for it. I definitely want to watch it. Is it really called Wahlburgers? Because his last name is Wahlberg.
Yeah, his last name is Wahlberg, but their restaurant is called Wahlburgers.
Wahlburgers, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's interesting. But I'll tell you one thing, man, his house is sick. Oh my God. It's like he does a lot from his office, and you can see his gym in his house. And he's got like a 2-hole golf course in his backyard and a tennis court and like this big pool. It's pretty nifty. But yeah, it's interesting to watch him. Like he's trying to teach his kids about business and entrepreneurship, and like he's trying to like build something outside of just making movies, right? Like something that his family can carry on. So it's really interesting to watch him talk about how he's new to being an entrepreneur and just what he does to try to get up to speed and work it out. So interesting show.
Hey, look who it is. It's Wes Amon. He says Undercover Billionaire is available online, but I don't know if you guys were with us on our training yesterday. Wes won a Zebek from us. We gave him a Zebek.
And it's actually I have it all packaged up, Wes, so I'm shipping it out today. So it will be on its way shortly, probably right after the live show. One thing I realized before I packed it all up, though, I didn't check the box. I hope you put everything back in there, Nick. I should have checked it.
It's in there.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, if you missed the training yesterday, we're going to give you guys a link so you can see it, because the training we did yesterday is all about the topic that we're going to talk about today, right? Turning tragedy into triumph. It's a training where I go through how I started my agency, like what I was using to prospect, to get traction, to get things off the ground. But more than that, it really is a method that you can have in your tool set that generates income and cash flow really quickly, and it generates a lot of clients all at once. And in the training, we go through the entire method. Like we don't hold anything back. We show you exactly how to do everything. And we even gave everybody on the call a PDF of some templates so that if they wanted to do it, you could get traction. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it as we go through. But what I would encourage you guys to do is even if you are not interested in the method itself right now, I would go watch the training, download the PDF, because it's definitely something that's really great to have in your back pocket. Like just knowing the method, what to do, how to do it, having some templates so that if you ever found yourself in a situation where you needed to generate 3, 4, $5,000 really quickly, this method can do that. And what's really great about it is you can just do it one time to get an influx of cash flow, and then you don't have to do it again, or you can build it into a business like some of our sharks do. Like Scott Meisner, he did like 18 of these things last year. So there's other sharks in there that are doing it as well, combining it with other stuff they're doing. So it's really super flexible. And again, it's just a great thing to know, because you may find yourself in a situation where you just need to get something going, and you need something that's going to put cash in your hand right away, right? Like where it stands apart from a lot of other methods out there is that this really is a method where you can literally reach out to someone in the next 15 minutes and have a check in hand within 30, 45 minutes, right? Like it can be as fast as that. So we're going to talk a little more about that. So I'll give you guys the link towards the end so you can go watch the training. I don't want to distract you right now, but yeah, we're going to do that. Awesome. So let's, why don't we start off with some shark shout outs? I love to do the shark shout outs. Let's, let me find that post.
Let's do it.
A couple things. So first, guys and ladies, every week in the Facebook group, we put up a post at this link. So if you go to offlinesharks.com/shoutouts, you're going to see a post of our shoutouts from this week. And these are sharks in our community that have closed deals. It's closed business. They've got checks in hand. They've got some traction, and we like to celebrate that every week on the show. The other thing we like to do is reward you for congratulating them. So if you go to that link right now, offlinesharks.com/shoutouts, and just leave a comment there congratulating all of our shout out people this week, then at the end of the stream, we're going to go through there, pick out a couple of people. We're going to send them some Cash App money. So it pays to participate in the live show. So head over to that link, and then I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go through these. There we go. All right. That's about as big as I could make it. This Facebook layout is not very good for this type of stuff, but awesome. Here's our shout outs for this week. So first up, Arnell Levy. Arnell, my man, he sold his first spot on his mailer this past Saturday. So taking some actions, got a mailer in the works, sold a spot already. So congratulations, Arnell. It is awesome. It's a great feeling when you sell that first spot. So way to go, man. Way to go. Little applause for you, Arnell. Awesome job. Our second.
I don't know who this is, but they're only 3 weeks in, 4 spots left. Yeah. So that means they've already sold 10 spots, right?
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. So yeah, 10 spots already in 3 weeks, man. That's fantastic to see. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that too as we go on. So I don't know who that is. Maybe somebody from our team can tell us, but congratulations. That's awesome. Our next shout out goes to Jacqueline Heath, our friend in the UK. She got 3 new clients. So she closed 3 website deals. So 750, 500, and 250. And those are all in pounds. And then she furnished her landing page, finished in Get Response, is ready to start her first foray into passive income by selling an information package on living pain-free for gallstone sufferers. That's interesting. Way to go, Jackie. So branching out, trying some multiple streams of revenue. Love to see that. Awesome job. Awesome job, Jackie. And then let's see. Our next shout out goes to Heath Friend. So Heath got his AGM site set up. He offered a free listing to an old friend who then set him up with 3 referrals. He's looking at around $5,800 in recurring income in the pipeline, $69,600 a year. And that's That's awesome. Yeah, one SEO package, an air conditioning company at $3K a month, and then a second SEO package that's a data electrical for $1K a month. That's freaking awesome. That's awesome. And our final shout out goes to Sandy Alexander. Sandy secured a new client for a logo design, $175, and then website and social media profile tweak for $500. Awesome job, Sandy. Awesome job. Yeah, that's really awesome. And I don't know if you guys, if you're counting along, I think that's around $7,200. So $7,200 in closed business just in the past week from people in our community. And that's only 4 people, right? That doesn't even count in the guy that sold that 10 spots. If he's selling them at $500 a pop, that's another $5,000, right? And it's really awesome because we've been seeing this kind of traction and stuff for weeks. Weeks and weeks now, all through everything that's been going on, people doing this week in and week out. So it's really great to celebrate this with you guys. And for any of you that are on here that are maybe, you're sitting on that fence and like, I don't know if I want to dive in or, whatever. Maybe you're procrastinating and you're just not taking action. Like, I hope this is like a motivational thing for you to like get up out of your chair and take some action. Like, get off the live, take some action, reach out to some business owners, make a plan to start on Monday, put something in place, right? Like, pencil it into your calendar so you start reaching out to people. I think that'd be really awesome. So congratulations to all our shout out winners. And again, if you guys go to this post, offlinesharks.com/shoutouts, leave a comment, congratulate them. At the end of the stream, we're going to give away some Cash App money to a few people that do that. So congratulations, everybody.
Congrats, everybody. Tremendous job.
Yeah.
Somebody said that we should start keeping track of the monthly revenue and challenge everybody to beat that each month. That's not a bad idea.
We're actually doing that. So last week I had that same thought. So I asked our team to start tracking the revenue generated in the weekly Shark Shoutout. So that's how I had the number for this week, which was $7,255.05. And so I asked them to start keeping a spreadsheet where we can keep a running total and see what people are doing. I think that'd be really great.
Heck yeah, it would. And you guys, Tom and I, we only want 15%.
No, we're not 10%. We'll just take 10%. We don't even need 15, just 10.
We'll just take 10.
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, way to go, everybody. Super, super awesome to see that. So, we were talking about turning tragedy into triumph, right? Dorn said, #10%. I like it. No, we don't want a percentage. It's awesome to see people like taking action and getting traction and doing stuff like really, really good. So, wow. James added another 900 this week. Whew. Way to go, James. That's awesome, man. Yeah, a lot of smart people in the group. So ask questions, participate in there, pay attention to what people are doing. And what has been really interesting to me about all this, Nick, is that we see people all across the board in things they're doing, right? Like all different kinds of services, all different kinds of niches, and still getting traction, which, I think, for me really reaffirms that point that I think I spent way too much time trying to figure out what the perfect thing to do was, what the perfect service was to offer, I spent way too much time thinking I needed to work all that out when really I should have just picked something and started going. And actually, when I look back, like when I started my agency, that's really how things started to turn around for me, was when I stopped doing that. When I finally said, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to pick this one thing. And I'm just going to do this one thing until it gets done, right? And for me, that was the mailer, right? So I picked this one thing. I'm just going to take action every day until I get this thing done. And that's really where the shift happened for me was making that decision. I've got this one thing. I'm going to do it till it's finished. I'm going to do it till it's completed. And, after that, I was kind of off and running to the races. But, to tie it into our topic, which is turning tragedy into triumph, I don't know. I didn't go into a lot of detail on this, on the training that we did, but this is back in 2012. And I had been fired from my restaurant job. That restaurant just closed recently, no longer on Maui. So anyway, I'd been fired from my restaurant job. I was collecting unemployment. I had this decision: do I get a job? I'm trying to make this marketing thing work. And like I said, I was trying a lot of different stuff. Like I was trying to sell websites. I was trying to sell SEO. I was trying to sell social media. I was trying to sell mobile marketing. Like I had a lot of irons in the fire, and I wasn't getting traction, right? I was meeting with people, but I wasn't closing deals, and the clock was really ticking for me because my unemployment was going to run out in a few weeks. And I needed to pay the bills, right? I needed to be able to pay the bills. And so I came across this mailer idea, and it was, at the time, it was like the most expensive thing I bought, because it was Bob Ross, Jake, he was selling it on Warrior Plus, but he had raised the price to like $50. So it was like, oh my God, I'm going to pay $50 for this. Is it going to be worth it? But I took the leap. I did it. And, I followed what he laid out in there, which, was pretty, I don't want to say bare bones. I mean, he gave you all the information, but there's a lot of stuff I had to create on my own to get once the business started going, right? Like in the beginning, I had to make some samples and things like that. And then a lot of the stuff I just had to figure out, because he basically just laid out the method, right? Which is not a new method. This idea of selling advertising and doing co-op advertising and having things like a mailer that features multiple businesses in some shape or form, or a coupon book. That's been around for a long time, but I liked the simplicity of the approach of just having this jumbo postcard, 14 or 16 businesses on it. And what I really liked about it was that I could focus on the selling right out of the gate, right? All I had to do was go reach out to businesses and see if they were interested and collect the checks. The fulfillment was handled by other people. And even better, I didn't have to spend any money out of my own pocket to do any of the fulfillment, because I used the money I collected. So I collected the money first and then was able to deliver the service, right? And then on the other side of that, once the mailer was complete and out, that's what they paid for. It was done, right? There was my kind of responsibility was away from it. So if it got results, it got results. And if it didn't, it didn't. But, most businesses got a lot of results from it. So, that's those things, when you're looking for something that to have in your war chest and your tool chest for when you're really in a crunch, those are the things you want to be looking for, right? What's something that I can just focus on going out and selling? I need to be able to just focus on the selling, because that's what brings in the money, and then handle the other stuff in some other way. And ideally you want something that you can, bring multiple people in really, really quickly. So, when I got that first mailer out, I made about $3,800 in profit when it was all said and done, and generated about $7,000 in revenue. And I was off to the races, right? Now I also had a list. I didn't have any business connections here in Hawaii. Now I had a list of 14 buyers, which a buyer's list is really good. I was able to do things like go back to those people and say things like, hey, when I was when we were putting your ad together, we noticed you didn't claim your Google My Business page. We were putting your ad together. We noticed you don't have a Facebook page. When we were putting your ad together, we noticed your website looks like it was built in 1989. There were all these things that allowed me to start these conversations with people. And and that's why I think it's such a great method, right? And that's what we go through. And that's what we went through in yesterday's training. We laid everything bare about the method, how to do it, right? How to do the prospecting, how to reach out through email, how to reach out through social media. We talked about how to find a designer after you collected the money, how to do the printing and the mailing after you've collected the money. We went through all of it, and we gave away that great PDF with the templates so you could get out and get started. So again, we'll put the link up for that here towards the end of the live, but I would definitely encourage you guys to go watch it.
How long after you got fired did you actually start to prospect for the mailer?
Well, it was there was 52 weeks of unemployment, right? So for like the first 45, 46 weeks, I was trying to sell all those other services. And I just wasn't getting traction.
Yeah.
And then I was like, as my unemployment got, like closer and closer running out, I'm like, oh man, I'm desperate. So I'm really looking for things like, what can I do that I can just go sell? And when I came across that mailer idea, I was like, oh, this is something that I could just go sell. Like I can make a mock-up of this thing and I can just go start selling. I don't have to have any software. I don't have to have anything technical. Like it's really just, it's up to me to just go show it to people and see if they're interested and collect the money. And that was what appealed to me about it and why I got into it. And then it just worked like gangbusters, right?
But I'm curious about like what made you feel that way.
Wait, what was that, Nick? I didn't hear that question.
I was just curious about like what, I mean, we do all these other services, right? We sell websites, we sell paid advertising, we do social media posting, things like that. And I feel like sometimes we think about if you haven't done any sales at all, like you haven't gotten any clients, you think about these services and they're kind of scary. But it sounds like when you came across this strategy of this direct response piece of print and mail, you felt differently about that than the other stuff that we normally do. So what was it about that made you feel like, oh, this is doable, or I can actually, there was something there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're asking. Really, it was the simplicity of it, right? Like I knew businesses, I knew coupons worked, right? And I knew businesses would relate to that. They would understand that. Like, okay, you're going to mail this thing out. People are going to bring my coupon in. Like, so the simplicity and the straightforwardness of it was a draw to me. Also, not having to have a website, not like literally I could just start reaching out to businesses and say, hey, look, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to send out this mailer to 10,000 residents here because it's a co-op style. It's only $500. So you can literally get your business in front of 10,000 households for 5 cents per piece, which is a smoking deal. I mean, considering a stamp is what, like 45 cents, 48 cents, right? And we'll design the ad price for you. Like, it was just a really great offer. It's just a really great, solid offer that you don't have to educate someone on. Businesses just get it, right? And so the simplicity of that, and then being able to, knowing that, okay, so when I went to the first business that I talked to, they bought 2 spots. The first business I talked to bought 2 spots. And then when I had those checks in my hand, like when I walked into that business and walked out with $500 on a check, I was like, oh my God, like I've been overcomplicating this so much. Like, and then it was just then it was just a matter of continuing to talk to businesses until the thing was done. Right. Like just staying at it every day, reaching out, I think the difference there of what you said that stood out to me is really just, I think being on the hook for service that you're selling. There are a lot of people, their attention gets, you get caught in trying to follow what somebody's telling you to do, right? You see an ad somewhere and somebody says that you should go sell ADA compliance to businesses, or you should go sell search engine optimization to businesses. The problem with that is that once they pay you, now you need to go learn how to do search engine optimization, or you need to go do that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but there is a learning curve for these different services. And the thing with what you did is you have this thing that goes out to 10,000 homes in an area, and it's a co-op mailer. So it's got all these little great offers from all these businesses. So really all you need to do
is go out there and make sure this thing hits these mailboxes. And so you don't need to have technical experience. You don't need to learn about Google's algorithm. You don't need to do any of that kind of thing. You just need to learn how to collect that information and make sure it can get to the designer and the post office. So it's really, it reminds me of like, you remember paint by numbers? If you can just follow the numbers like you just do, yep. You paint every one box with the number one specific color. And if you just paint those numbers, the right colors, at the end of the project, you have this beautiful painting. Like that's what this service is in order to fulfill it. Like you don't have to be a master technical person. You don't even need to know how to use a website, which is a learning curve for a lot of people too. And so if you just have that blueprint on how to do it, you can collect that information, make sure it gets to the post office. You're going to be able to deliver results to these businesses. And once you do that the first time around, then you're really in because they're going to love you.
Yeah. Well, and I think to your point there, what's great about this is that, we talk about when we've talked about this. So when you're new and you're trying to get business started, right? We've talked about the difference between results-based services that you can offer versus things where they're paying you to do something. Like, let me just give you an example to make that more clear. Yeah, like an activity. So like SEO is a results-based service because the client can only tell if you're doing well by where their website is ranking in the Google search. So it's all result-based, right? Where are you ranking? So, and there's things in that are out of your control. Like we don't control Google. There's going to be fluctuation up and down and all that stuff. And they're also looking at, well, how many customers is that bringing in? Of course, as they should be, right? Whereas something like a website build is an activity-based service because the person gives you money, you build this website, and they have the website. So the exchange of money was for the activity that you did of building the website. So it's a little cleaner. There's a cleaner kind of thing there for you as the consultant because you're not tied to the results. Like how many people come to that website after it's built and all that stuff. Like that doesn't affect them. Like the client can't come back to you and be like, give me my money back for my website because nobody visits it. Like they paid you for that activity. So the mailer is a nice mix of both of those things because you're getting paid for the activity of creating this co-op mailer, managing it for these 14 businesses. That's what you're getting paid for, right? To manage it, to handle all the ad creation for them, to do the mailing, all that stuff. That's what you're getting paid for. But it also delivers results. And so they paid you to do this thing. And then when the results come in, it's like an added bonus for them, right? And because the price is, because we keep the price really affordable at $500, even if a business gets on there and it doesn't do great for them, which I think this is a good topic to talk about too when it comes to the mailer, is what do businesses really consider a good response from the marketing you're doing for them, right? Because for most businesses that have tried to run ads in a newspaper or a vow pack or something like that, oftentimes they get none, zero, or very little results. So you don't have to generate 1,000 customers coming in their door. Like if your mailer for $500 just brings in 2 to 5 customers to their business, a lot of times that's like better than any other marketing they've ever done, right? Like it's like night and day to them. So, there's something to be said for that too, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And so after you did your first mailer and you got it, I mean, how long did it take you the first time you did it to complete the project, to like fill the whole thing up?
The whole thing was probably just under 30 days. Like I sold all of the ad spots in 7 days. So from the day I started till the end, I sold all the ad spots in 7 days. And then it took me about a week to get the ads all done. And then there was like a week or two for them to be printed. So, it was about around 30 days from, for the whole process. But I had the ads all sold really quickly. And, Devin, who we tasked with filling a card, when we first brought him on, he sold all but one ad within like 4 days, right? Like, I mean, it was crazy. And then but again, that was about a 30-day process too, because we had the ad design, all that stuff, which we didn't do, right? Like we had a designer do it and do all that stuff. We didn't do the printing. We didn't even do the mailing, right? We had the printer print it and do the mailing. So we didn't have to do any of that. Yeah. And
I mean, for everybody that's watching, we didn't have to do the mailer at all. And we did the mailer, right? We had an appointment setter do the actual reach out to the businesses, sell all the ads box. We had an outsourced designer set the whole thing up. Then we had a printing company print the whole thing and take it to the post office. So Tom and I literally sat back and had this project completed by other people. And you guys can do that too. For those of you that have already done a mailer before, actually, who's a member of the Coupon Cash System Unleashed? Put a one or put a me in the comments too, because I know a lot of people here are, but I want to see how many of you actually have that system and are members. And maybe some of you have already put out your first mailer, because if that's you, then I would also start to think about how can you scale this up? How can you ramp this up? Can you have an appointment setter like in the Yellow Brick Road method helping you to start prospecting for your next mailer? Like, how do you grow it? And that's where my next question comes for you, Tom. And I hope you guys, I'm just asking these questions, trying to take it from the perspective of somebody who is, maybe hasn't gotten their first card filled up yet, or is just thinking about maybe doing this as a strategy. And I see a whole ton of people that are CCSU members, which is great. Thank you guys. And you guys are awesome for doing what you're doing. You know that it's an awesome way to get your foot in the door. But so that question that I had, Tom, is what did that do for you in your business? Because I know you were fired, right? You're recently fired from your job. You tried the more shotgun approach, we call it, where you tried to sell different things all the time, just more willy-nilly, as you like to say.
Yep.
And it wasn't until you focused on this one thing, you tried to sell this one thing, and you had some success with it. So what did that do for you in your business? Was there more structure? Were you able to take those people that got on the card and do other things for them? Or did it give you the sense of like, hey, maybe I can go all the way with this, or did it open up other opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, it did a lot of things for me. One, it gave me confidence in what I was doing, right? Getting that first check, having that win, going like, oh, this is resonating with businesses. I had confidence in what, like, I could get behind this product. Like, I believed in it.
Let's real quick, on a scale of 1 to 10, everybody on this call, what is your confidence level with your abilities to make money through digital marketing and local businesses? From a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most confident, like I can go out today and I can make money. It doesn't matter where I am. I'm in Colorado. I'm in Las Vegas. I can walk out of this door and I can round up some money. That's a 10. I want to see what your different levels of confidence are. Go back, Tom. Sorry about that. Dorn's a 20, of course, but he did put a sad face on the stream today. So he might be having some psychological.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, look, when you're trying to sell SEO, and you've never done SEO for a client, your confidence in your ability to deliver results, no matter how much you know about SEO, like you just can't really talk to a person with the same kind of authority and passion of somebody who's done it, right? Like that's why we talk about in Offline Sharks, like with you, Nick, like take your agency website and SEO that bad boy first. Like get that thing showing up in the rankings for key terms. Now, when you go to talk to a client, like the whole attitude and sound of the way you talk to the client changes because you believe in what you're doing, right? The mailer was that for me. Like I did it. And when I started selling the spots, I was like, okay, I believe in this thing. Like I know this thing is good. I know you're going to get value out of it. So when I talk to somebody, like I have, if somebody's like, oh, that didn't work or whatever, like, man, I just shrug them off and I'm like, whatever. And I go to the next person, like, cause I know how good it is, right? Like I believe in it. So the confidence level was the first thing. The next thing it did for me was it showed me again that I was overcomplicating a lot of the process. And really the key was action every day, right? Action every day. And somebody asked this question, so I put it up here. What's the biggest challenge everyone faces doing this? And I think it's the biggest challenge you face is you, right? Like your mind is going to tell you 27,000 ways this thing isn't going to work, why you shouldn't do it, why it's not going to be good. Like the biggest challenge you face is just putting all that aside and going out and taking action and doing it, right? Like that's really the biggest challenge. And I can't find this comment to take it off the screen for some reason.
You can just pull up another one.
I don't know where it went in my feed. That's so funny. But anyway, I think that's the biggest challenge. So there was the confidence level. There was this realization that, oh my gosh, I've been overcomplicating this. Like I've been worried about a website. I've been worried about all this stuff. And I didn't need any of that. Like I was able to just, take these little sample cards I had made up at Office Max that were laminated and walk in and start getting checks. Like I had really overcomplicated the process. So taking that action every day. And I know someone else asked, I saw it in the comments about, well, how many businesses did you visit to sell those 7 spots? And like, this is what I mean about you're going to get in your own way, because that's how you think in the beginning. Like, well, how many businesses am I going to have to talk to sell all these spots? But that's not the way you should be thinking. The way I had to shift my thinking was when I sold that first spot, my thinking changed to I'm going to visit as many and talk, not just visit, but talk. Because you can, like, a lot of the people you see in the Shark group and the last mailer we didn't walk into a single business. Like we didn't go visit anyone in person. We did it all through email. We did it all through social media messaging. So like, you don't have to physically go visit people. Like this works regardless. But when I sold that first spot, my mind shift was not, well, how many more businesses do I need to go see? It was, I'm going to visit as many businesses and talk to as many businesses as I need to fill this card. And I hope you guys see the difference there. That difference from how many do I need to go talk to I'm just going to get this thing done. Like, I'm just going to get it done. Like, no more like, oh, I'm not going to stop until all the spaces are gone. That's the difference, right? So there's that. And then the other part of your question about, how did it change my business? Like it really put me on the map, right? Like people got results. They loved it. And then just like you said, Nick, I was able to go back to these people and I started telling them like, look, this isn't the only thing I do. I can also help you with your digital marketing. And here in Hawaii, that was a big shift because once people had done business with me, they were more open to listening to what I had to say. So I started doing website design. Like I got a lot of business off of the people that signed up for my card. It was really my foot in the door strategy.
One thing that stood out that you did that I want to go back around, you're the biggest problem you will face while you're trying to think.
You're kind of breaking up, Nick.
How did you overcome that? Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Wi-Fi. A little sketchy. Is it better now?
I can hear you, but your video's frozen. Text me your question.
I was just going to ask you what your why was. What was your why? I was going to ask you what your why was. What got you out every day back prospecting?
So my why was I didn't want to get a regular job. Like I desperately did not want to go back to being a restaurant manager, which was really the only kind of skill set I had, right? And or a waiter or a bartender.
If you have that same why, please hit a like on the stream just because you can relate to that. Because that was definitely my why as well.
Yeah, I just didn't want to go back. It was crazy. Yeah. It was, but then once you kind of like, and by the way, like it wasn't all peaches and roses when I started this business, right? Like, so I did this first card, I make $3,800. which, by the way, is not very much money in Hawaii. And so then it was like I had to go do another one to keep the cash flow going. And because I was an inexperienced entrepreneur, I almost drove that business into the ground. Like I was horrible at my cash flow management. I did everything wrong that you could do wrong with my cash flow management. And I got into trouble. And I actually had to like make a hard line in the sand at one point and be like, look, I'm not doing any more physical mailers. I had to refund some people, and I just focused on talking to the people that I'd done mailers for and doing digital stuff for them to get even more cash flow going. Not because of the method, but it was because of me. Like I was just a crappy entrepreneur, but I learned from those mistakes, right? Like I started figuring out like, oh, okay, I need to get better with my cash flow management and how I'm doing this. And so I was really quickly able to start the mailers back up again and do them in a schedule in a way that worked better for my business, and bring in more people with digital stuff and things like that to supplement the income. Because, for me, I'm in a really small area, so I couldn't go out and have 4 or 5 or 6 mailers going all the time. I just couldn't do that. There's not enough places here to do that. So I was pretty much limited to one area and doing one every 45 days or so. And so, that's what I had to work with. So I had to restructure my business and make, adjustments based on that. But, you look at someone like Scott, who's on the stream right now, Scott Meisner, he's a high school teacher. Like he teaches high school. He has he doesn't want to leave his job. He loves his job. He loves teaching high school. And yet, he did 18 mailers last year. Like this is how he supplements his income. Scott has a lot of kids, so he needs supplemental income. But, this is what he does on the side. So, it's just one of those things where you can work it into your business model any way you want. You can do it as a full-time business. You can do it as a part-time business. You can do it just as something that you just want to do every once in a while to generate some cash, right? Like, I talked about that in the training. We were going to Disneyland one time and I was like, I want some extra money. I'll do a mailer. So I just fired up a mailer. I did a mailer in like 3 weeks. I had an extra few grand to take to Disney. So, it's one of those awesome, again, it's just something you want in your toolkit. Like you want to know about it. You want to know what it is so that if you find yourself in a situation like that, you can use it.
So you wanted to go to Disney at some point and you needed some cash to make that happen. So you were like, I'm just going to do a mailer. You thought about it a month in advance and you fired it up and you were able to pull an extra $3,000-$4,000 to take your family to Disney.
Yeah. That's exactly what we did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
People want to know where they can check out that training.
Oh, yeah. So here, I'm going to put this banner up on the bottom. So if you guys go to offlinesharks.com/triumph, that will take you to the replay. And again, it's a really direct training. Like we don't spend a lot of time beating around the bush. Like we get right into it, talking about how to do it, what to do. And then towards the end, you'll get the PDF, all that stuff. So, make sure you watch the whole thing. We lay it all out there. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. But yeah, it really is a great thing. One thing we should do, Nick, we need to do 2 things. We need to give away some Cash App money because we didn't do that earlier when we should have. And we need to talk about our member of the week, and then we can take some more questions on this. So why don't let's do some Cash App money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Mm-hmm. Here comes the money.
Mm-hmm. Is there a delay?
Yeah. There was a delay on here, and that's so funny. I can hear you going, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So let's do a Cash App question. So
my Wi-Fi is fine.
Yeah, I know it's kind of spotty. I'm going to ask the question since you're kind of in and out. So, okay. Here we go. So this is interesting. So we have a thing called Shark Bites. It goes out to all our Shark Alliance members. It's a Shark Bites. It's got like a little digest of things going on offline sharks, trainings, articles, all that stuff. Every month in Shark Bites, we feature one of our team members. And can anyone tell me what the first name of our team member of the month featured in this month's Sharks newsletter is? That's a toughie. If no one can answer it, then we'll pick somebody else. Let me start to look. Oh, Dorn. Dorn was. Oh wait, no, was it Dorn? Let me look. Hold on. Yep, Dorn. Dorn on the button. Man, he got it. Yeah. No, that's Dorn. Where'd you go? He keeps adding comments. There we go. That's right, Dorn. RJ. RJ was our team member of the month in the Shark newsletter. So shout out to RJ and shout out to Dorn for winning some Cash App money. Good job, Dorn. Good job.
It's funny. Good job, Dorn.
I don't know who this person is. If somebody on the team can tell me who the second person was that got it. So there's Dorn, and then there's somebody under Guy Bergstrom who got it. If you can tell me who that is, we'll send them some Cash App money too.
Hell yeah. Somebody wanted to know where they can sign up for the newsletter.
Oh, so that's a good question. So the newsletter is actually included with the Shark Alliance membership. And I don't know if do we still can you just sign up for the newsletter on its own?
I think you can. It might be on our website.
Yeah, let me look. We added it so that it's included with the Shark Alliance memberships, like the Plus and the Elite. But let me double check and see if it's on here. Hold on.
You know, it's funny. So we're member of the week that we're going to announce in a minute. And, you know, we started making some shark merchandise that we send out to people. And look, Tom, I brought this with me. It's a bag, an Offline Sharks bag. Remember?
Nice.
We actually didn't like the way it looks, but it works to keep your money in. So I've been taking it with me.
Yeah, so you can get the Shark Bites on the website. So here, I'm going to I don't have a pretty link for this, but I'm going to put this in the comments. So if you guys go to the link that I just hold on, let me say what this is. You actually get a free issue.
Don, it's a money bag.
So I posted in the comments a link. If you go there, you can download a free issue of Shark Bites. You get a free issue, and then you'll see. I think it's less than $10 a month, I think, to sign up for Shark Bites. Yeah, and you can find our Offline Sharks merch on our offlinesharks.com website as well. We had a lot of stuff on that website.
We have a bunch of new merch being made right now.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, you guys are going to like it. All right, so let's talk about, real quick here, let's do our member of the week. So every week we like to highlight someone in the group that really participates, that's super active, that helps other people out in the group, that's just a good steward of our community. They're the Offline Sharks member of the week. We send them some Offline Sharks merch, and pretty soon they're going to get like a pretty awesome little swag bag. We were working on that in the background. So it'll be great to be member of the week. But this week's member of the week goes to, here we go. Oh, I got to hit share. There you go. Heath Friend. So Heath, congratulations. And Heath was sharing about making contact with businesses following AGM training and getting some clients out of the deal. sharing all that in the group. So congratulations, Heath. You're members of the week. Somebody from the team will reach out to you and get you sorted there. I thought it was going to be Herc at first when I saw that picture, Nick.
He does look like Herc. You guys, if you could tag Heath and congratulate him.
If you guys can tag Heath and congratulate him, that would be awesome. I'm going to stop sharing that. So that's good for our member of the week. And then let us... Oh, we need to do some Cash App money for the people on the posts. I'm going to play the song one more time. I like the song.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, bling, bling, cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
Awesome. All right. So our Cash App winners for leaving comments. So at the beginning of the stream, just so you guys know, we asked everybody to go to offlinesharks.com/shoutouts. We do this every week. Every week that post is a new post. That link goes to a new post of all the shoutouts for the previous week. And we ask people to just leave a comment, congratulate them. When they do, we pick a couple people by the end of the stream and we send them some Cash App money. So our two winners today are Liam Quirk and Warren Wu. So congratulations, Liam and Warren. Awesome job. Awesome job. It pays to participate at Offline Sharks. Cool.
Hey, guys, congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot better connection now, Nick. Awesome. Yeah, sounded good. Well, listen, guys, it's been a great Friday Aloha Marketing Jam session. I hope you enjoyed it. Really great questions. Again, highly recommend you guys go check out the training, offlinesharks.com/triumph. We go through the whole method we've been discussing on this live, show you everything. We give you designers to use. We give you the print, like everything, the temp, all that stuff. So go there, check out the training. You're going to love it. You know, if you have questions, post them in the Facebook group. Also, you can always reach out to our team at offlinesharks.com/support as well. We're going to see you here next Friday. Same shark time, same shark channel. I don't know if Nick will still be in Colorado then, but he will be here.
I think I'll be in Montana. I'll be here with better Wi-Fi too.
Yeah, better Wi-Fi. Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Well, guys, look, enjoy the rest of your Aloha Friday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Really appreciate you being here. Stay safe out there, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Aloha.
You've been listening to the Sharks Live Show, your weekly local marketing jam session. Every week, packed full of local marketing strategy, tactics, tips, and fun. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube and Tom's podcast at tomgaddis.com. We'll be back here next Friday for another Sharks Live Show. Until then, aloha.